That's what I want to talk about. There you go.
Talk about Gervonta Davis.
That's what I want to talk about, man.
Youngest fighter out right now. I mean,
what is the hottest? Yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Nah, yo no quiero correr.
He said no, he don't want to run.
No.
He don't want to run after.
Yo quiero pelear,
He don't want to run. No, that's what I mean. He want to rematch. Yeah.
Just when we thought he had finally settled with Lamont Roach, the most exciting fighter in the lightweight division, Gervonta Davis is still looking for his next opponent. And his earnest search was what led him to Edwin De Santos, who is now ready to get another world title shot exactly a year after his controversial loss to Shakur Stevenson. And boxing fans are getting tired of the speculation from one fighter to another.
See as the most complete fighter and why? Bueno, para mí, Gervonta Davis.
In June, it was Vasily Lomachenko who cancelled the fight because he wasn't ready to take on another challenge after defeating George Kambosos in Australia to clinch the International Boxing Federation super lightweight title. International Boxing Federation champion Vasily Lomachenko had been the preferred opponent and had many in the boxing world dreaming of a fascinating unification matchup. PBC and Top Rank were said to be working on a deal when Lomachenko decided to take off the rest of the year, leaving Tank to look elsewhere. Afterwards, there were rumors about a potential fight between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, though nothing was heard after that and both fighters soon moved on. Regardless, news kept flying around about Gervonta Davis's desire to fight another opponent before the year runs out. It got to Rayo Valenzuela's turn, and despite everything looking perfect, the World Boxing Association super lightweight champion came out to deny claims regarding him fighting Tank Davis later in the year.
That's what we got. 135-pounder.
Jose Valenzuela defeating Isaac Cruz took the Pitbull fight away, and a possible Valenzuela fight didn't create much interest. Then, Lamont Roach grabbed the opportunity and was getting set for a world title fight until this happened. The World Boxing Association lightweight champion returned to the ring in June this year after a long hiatus following his fight against Ryan Garcia last year.
But I would also be satisfied in saying Devin Haney as well.
You said Tank and Haney before Shakur. Why is that?
One thing that Davis would like to avoid right now is ring rust. And he is looking to have another fight this year in December. Davis's first choice was a unification bout with Ukrainian Vasyl Lomachenko. But the fight failed to materialize after a prolonged period of negotiations, as the Matrix wanted to spend more time with the family. Recently, Michael Benson reported that Lamont Roach, the World Boxing Association super featherweight champion, is the frontrunner for Davis's next World Boxing Association lightweight title fight in December, with Jose Rayos Valenzuela coming in as a close second.
Fight, man. It's a good fight.
Yes.
That's a good fight. I like Edwin De Santos. You know
And they looked the other way recently, bro. There's a lot of shit going on behind the closed doors.
Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach is reportedly now the front runner for Tank's next fight in November-December, with Jose Rayo Valenzuela also a possibility. Benson revealed on X. However, there was one more fighter that was reportedly approached for a Gervonta Davis fight. It was none other than Shakur Stevenson's former opponent, Edwin De Santos. In an interview with Mill City Boxing, the 24-year-old boxer's trainer and manager, Humberto Cello Betancourt, confirmed that Santos was contacted by Davis's team for a fight, and they even started preparing for Tank.
David Haney tiene mucho más boxeo que...
Then, when boxing legend Zab Judah inquired why the fight didn't take place, Cello responded, "They chose Lamont Roach." When Judah said that Gervonta Davis's choice for his upcoming opponent made perfect sense, Cello replied, "Hey, I ain't knocking on him, it is a good fight. 130 going up to 135. Why would you fight somebody who is a natural 135-pounder? Santos is a natural 135-pounder who fought most of his fights in the lightweight division, including his Shakur Stevenson title fight in December 2023. Meanwhile, Roach is the current World Boxing Association super featherweight champion and will be making his debut in the lightweight division if the fight with Davis is finalized.
He has to offer right now against one of the most ferocious fighters in the game right now. Why?
Why? Because we think we got a chance.
Roach will have to make the transition from 130 to 135 pounds to fight Gervonta Davis, who is again a natural at the lightweight division. Comparatively, Roach could be an easier opponent to tackle for Davis than Santos due to his difficulty adjusting to the 135-pound weight limit. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis had a befitting reply to the super lightweight division's current champion in recess, who found his prospective opponent for his upcoming fight laughable.
Gervonta ni se diga, tiene más pegada, tiene más boxeo, más completo, como lo digo.
Haney has better boxing skills than Shakur, and with Gervonta Davis, forget about it. He has power, he has everything. He's complete, like I said.
The former undisputed lightweight champion and current World Boxing Council super lightweight champion in recess, Devin Haney took to X to react to Davis's choice of opponents for his upcoming fight with a bunch of laughing emojis. However, Davis wasn't going to let Haney get away with it, reminding him of a painful loss that eventually got turned into a no contest. The Baltimore native posted a side-by-side photo where on one end was a still from his fight with Ryan Garcia last year, where he knocked Kingery down, eventually winning the fight by a brutal liver shot in the 7th round.
We gotta put a voice to the face. We got all the qualities, brother. We got all the qualities, man.
No.
We got everything.
We definitely.
Meanwhile, on the other end was a picture of Garcia knocking Haney down in their fight, who eventually beat the Dream via a majority decision win, which was later overturned to a no contest. Davis wanted to convey that he decisively won against Garcia, while Haney struggled against the same opponent, implying his dominance over the San Francisco native. Gervonta "Tank" Davis is the current world lightweight champion and was last seen when he defeated Frank Martin on June 15th this year. Davis, whose team was dressed in Ghostbusters gear as he walked to the ring inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena to the movie theme song, took care of unbeaten top contender Frank "The Ghost" Martin with relative ease to defend his WBA title at 135 pounds. In his first fight since knocking out Ryan Garcia in their blockbuster pay-per-view card last April, with a 44-day jail term in between for violating the terms of his house arrest, the 29-year-old Davis looked both menacing and spectacular in how he repeatedly walked down Martin before viciously stopping him at 129 of round 8.
Body by Davis, 1-2 over the follow the career of Tank Davis. And Davis, though, beginning to unload, and again, Martin able to escape the ropes. So
after a slow start, which he ascribed to being rusty, Davis began to routinely walk Davis from corner to corner and unleash power shots after taking away his opponent's jab due to the threat of his power. Eventually, that same power caught up with Martin as Davis landed a left uppercut in the corner to stun him before nearly knocking him out cold with a left cross. Martin, 29, was wobbly as he reached his feet at the count of 10, but referee Harvey Dock waved off the fight after looking into his eyes. "I was rusty, but it was okay because I'm back," Davis said. "A couple of rounds. I felt like I completely needed a warm-up, but it's okay. His footwork wasn't bothering me. I knew he would tire out. That's why we decided to just stand there and be a target for him so he could tire himself out throwing punches." Davis, who targeted the body throughout, landed an absurd 53% of his power shots according to CompuBox in the PBC on Prime Video PPV main event. Martin landed slightly more punches overall, 81 to 79, but it was the trademark efficiency of Davis that won out as he went on to land 44% of his total punches. "It was the uppercut that hurt him. Boom," Davis said. "I've been around for a long time and I have been training since I was 7 and competing since I was 8.
3 rounds are in the books, and it's Martin.
All the right things, volume, 1, 2, 3, back to the jab, moving to the side, not giving.
It's like second nature for me. It's just about staying focused and making sure my mind is on the road to coming out on top." Although Martin was able to gain back respect at times by exploding out of the corner with clean left hands to keep Davis honest while causing a bruise around his right eye, he was never able to follow up with anything menacing enough to keep Davis from unleashing relentless pressure over the final rounds. "I feel like in the beginning, I was in control, but then I got a little too comfortable," Martin said. "I stopped doing my movement, and once I stopped moving, he was hitting me with big shots. When I stopped doing my thing, he started hitting me big. It was just me trying to figure out what I could do to try to slow down the pressure that was coming." After the fight, Davis wouldn't commit to which fighter he was hoping to target next, despite the fact that rumors have swirled about his interest in title unification fights against fellow lightweight champions Vasily Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson. Garcia, who was seated at ringside and wearing a t-shirt aimed at Davis that said, "Rematch me, bitch," on the back of it, climbed up to the apron and embraced Davis as the two shared a laugh, although there was no mention inside the ring from Davis about a second fight.
Left uppercut. Down goes Martin! Mamma mia!
It remains to be seen what comes next for Tank, as Dan Rafael reveals via his Fight Freaks Unite Substack that Gervonta Davis could be facing World Boxing Association super featherweight titleist and promotional free agent Lamont Roach on deck 21 at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. According to the report from Rafael, there were discussions for Tank to headline a PBC Prime Video pay-per-view event on NOV 2, which has now been ruled out with NOV 23 or DEC 14 looking more likely. A third date has emerged as a possibility with December 21st at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., presenting itself with WBA super featherweight champion Roach prepared to step up in weight to take on the unbeaten Baltimore fighter. A fight against Roach in Washington would seemingly generate big interest with Roach from D.C. and Davis from nearby Baltimore. The two met in a 2011 amateur contest which Tank won via a 3-round decision. The December 21st option against Roach is seemingly the likely option for the PBC PPV card. On that day will be the PPV between Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury II, which would seemingly garner the most interest in the boxing world. While speculations and confirmations keep flying, it's hoped that Gervonta Davis would be able to compete again in the ring before the year runs out.
Like a type of negativity.
I mean, that just sounds like somebody that's scared. Somebody say that you're defensive and I don't want to get in the ring with you because you got great defense.
Regardless, Shakur Stevenson remains on the front seat for a fight against Davis. Stevenson told Boxing Scene that a fight with Davis would be the biggest fight in the world if we are really thinking about it. Talk of a title unification tilt against World Boxing Association champion Gervonta Tank Davis has been all the rage during the promotional stages of Stevenson's fight against Harutunian, much like it was for Davis during his knockout win over Frank Martin last month. "I have the best seat in the house," Stevenson told Boxing Scene. "We all know that me and Tank is going to be the biggest fight in years to come. Everybody and any promoter will want to be involved when that happens. I just sit back and chill and try not to think about it. I'll think about it when it happens. It's no question my fight with Davis is going to stop everyone's Saturday night. That's like the biggest fight in the world, if we are really thinking about it. Every hood in America is going to want to watch that fight. It's going to be a tremendous fight. That's the biggest and best fight to make in boxing." He then continued, "That's the game plan for me and the end goal. That's the fight that I am going to kick the door down with. Honestly, that's the direction I want to go in."
You've been successful in this venue. So what is your expectations leading to this fight?
I don't have no expectations.
Davis said he has Stevenson on his hit list, but has instead zeroed in on IBF lightweight title holder Vasily Lomachenko, as both sides are already engaged in negotiations. Stevenson said he is willing to switch between 140 and 135 pounds for the right fights as he enters the free agency phase of his career. "I'm going to be at 135 pounds for a minute," said Stevenson. "I want to be undisputed at 135 and get the belts one by one. I know that my time will come. Tank Davis has nowhere else to go but to fight me. At the end of the day, me and him will have to fight, and that's my opportunity. But for now, we're focused on Artem." What's more interesting is that Stevenson has fought Edwin De Santos in the past, who's now Davis's prospective opponent. Stevenson captured the vacant World Boxing Council lightweight crown with a unanimous decision win against Dominican puncher Edwin De Santos at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The 26-year-old southpaw delivered a slow-paced technical boxing match, rarely giving De Santos any opportunity to land on him by moving around the ring to avoid exchanges.
From De Santos.
It was a jab off the hip from Shakur. He was but to actually be an effective weapon.
De Santos grew more frustrated as the rounds progressed and began to taunt Stevenson in the 5th round. Nevertheless, neither fighter took chances or landed many punches as De Santos more or less chased Stevenson around the ring. Edwin De Santos spent countless months in the gym as he prepared for the biggest fight of his pugilistic life. He threw thudding left hands against the heavy bag, destroyed the speed bag, and worked on his smooth counter-punching. By the time his showdown against Shakur Stevenson crept up on him, the crafty Dominican believed he crossed all of his T's and dotted his I's. But after 12 incredibly frustrating rounds, De Los Santos has come to the conclusion that he forgot to work on his foot speed.
It's right around the average of a typical Shakur fight.
In front of a decent crowd in Las Vegas, Nevada, Stevenson was far more defensive than normal. He stood on the outside, popped De Los Santos' head back several times with a mundane jab, then proceeded to get out of the way once things got too heated. At times, De Los Santos threw his hands up in frustration. Joining him in that emotion was the crowd as boos cascaded upon them. No matter how hard he tried, De Los Santos found it impossible to land a clean shot on the former Olympic silver medalist. Once the final bell rang, De Los Santos didn't have a single bruise on his face. Although he didn't take much damage, he also wasn't able to inflict any. Following 36 minutes of lackluster action, Stevenson walked away with a close, unanimous decision victory and the vacant WBC lightweight title.
I'm going to just keep it outside. I'm going to just keep dominating you like this. Right now in the 6th round. Nice.
Two of it, but to your point, Mark, it has been the...
I'm above his level. Shakur Stevenson decided not to fight. Well, to justify Edwin De Los Santos' claims, Stevenson also was not happy with his performance. Stevenson said, "I had a bad performance tonight. That's all I'm really focused on. I wasn't feeling too good, so I'll live with it. It's okay. I came here and got the victory, and that's all I wanted to do. I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel good before the fight. Honestly, I had already told myself that if I feel like this in the ring, and if it's not going well, I'm going to make sure that I box and get the victory." Shakur Stevenson spent a lot of time apologizing following his bad performance against Edwin De Los Santos on Thursday night. The unbeaten Stevenson repeatedly refrained from offering excuses for fighting extremely cautiously against the dangerous De Los Santos. "Like I said, I'm not giving y'all no excuses," Stevenson told a group of reporters after an unimpressive victory ESPN televised. "I can't do that, that's not me, so we walked out victorious. We got the win tonight. I done seen Floyd in situations where he had bad performances versus Carlos Baldomir, other fighters, and he just got the win, and that's all I was thinking. If Floyd could go in there and get the win on a bad night, I could too." Mayweather has a contentious history with Top Rank Inc., Stevenson's promoter and Mayweather's former promoter, yet he sat ringside to watch Stevenson De Los Santos. "Yo, that's dope. I got Floyd to come to a Top Rank fight."
Of connected punches in this fight in a single...
The high was the last round.
A laughing Stevenson said, "He came here to support me. I appreciate Floyd. I apologize to him. I apologize to Andre Ward. I apologize to Terrence Crawford, all my idols. I put on a bad performance. They came out to see a great performance, and I put on a bad one." Much of an announced crowd of 6,703 booed loudly at times because Stevenson and De Los Santos didn't produce much action. While Stevenson seemed reluctant to engage, De Los Santos didn't make the necessary adjustments to cut off the ring and often followed the elusive Stevenson around the ring. The Dominican southpaw wasn't aggressive at times either. The 26-year-old Stevenson, who was listed as a 14-1 favorite by BetMGM Sportsbook, won 8 rounds apiece on the cards of judges Tim Cheatham 116, 112 and Steve Weisfeld 116, 112.
Ropes around the ring and trapped Shakur to land that ball.
Judge David Sutherland scored 7 rounds for Stevenson, who won 115, 113 on his card. "I apologize to my fans," Stevenson said. "I apologize to everybody if I had a bad performance or if y'all felt I could have did more. I did too, so I'm sorry." And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.